It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Allen looking to throw it right at the outset. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
And their coach told us the other day that they wanted to get him in a nice groove right out of the gate. And one way to do that, give him quick throws where he can get the ball out of his hand in a hurry, as he did there.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Palmer going in motion right. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They run for the first time with James Cook. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's got his target. That's complete. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch, and the 2 of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
This is caught. Touchdown, Bills. Dalton Kincaid from 8 yards out. And the Bills will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Brown goes in motion left. Hurts sets up to throw it. And his throw here's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. His throw incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Hurts. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back, because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Allen. Slant route going to be caught by Palmer. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on 3rd down. Motion man is Shakir. Now Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Well, this might very well have been 4-down territory, but that's not going to matter now. They get a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from April's draft. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Here's Allen to throw it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bills lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Throwing is Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. A little juke, and he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit.
Hurts fumbles it. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the 1st half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the 1st as they kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now come the Eagles. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the 1st half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the 1st. Back to throw here. This short throw caught by Goddard. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Play action. Here's Hurts on the move to his left. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll look to throw again. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down, but they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And here come the Bills. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. Shakir hauls it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Allen has his man. It's Shakir. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
21-0, our score after 1. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Allen. This is Coleman with a grab. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, it's Allen. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, what a move. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
To throw, it's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Bills on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To the air, Allen. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Coleman. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The kick by Bass is good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this 1st half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Allen going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Allen setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
On is the punter Long here as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 3. They go play action with Hurts. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
This pass hauled in by Dotson. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. Up the middle with Barkley. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
If they're going to get a 1st down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. That is caught. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Barkley, inside handoff. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Hurts sets up to throw it. That is caught at the 7. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Allen right back to Cook for another completion. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Here's Allen. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Allen. Slant route going to be caught by Palmer. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now 2nd and 5. Now Allen again. This taken in by Kincaid. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing now is Allen. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the guard, David Edwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Allen to throw it. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw again. Throw left side to Kincaid. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. Well, now how about this return? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. Here's Hurts to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 26. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
Hurts. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. Hurts going to keep it running right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So after the INT, it's Allen. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Motion man is Shakir. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now Allen. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Open man is Palmer. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 11 more on that one and another first down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Coleman. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
To the air, Allen. That's caught. It's Coleman. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Josh Palmer, 30 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 2nd and 10. Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, and what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much, because if you do that,
you're all but guaranteed to start making.
And this is caught. A big play there for Philly. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Hurts fumbles it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Over the middle here to Brown. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll run with Barkley. And I don't think he got in. He didn't. He's stoned at the 1-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Bills' goal line stand is going to get him the football back.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5.
Allen now looks to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Play action. Now it's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
scoring on the 2-yard keeper.
And the Eagles get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Is surprised there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. I'm sure the message as they come out onto the field was, hey, take care of the football, because the fumble last possession led to a touchdown. Still a 3-score game, though.
You don't want things to start to snowball. You know, one error leads to another, which leads to another. And then all of a sudden you're fighting for your life down the stretch instead of finishing the game in style, which is what they're trying to do on this drive.
Yeah, it would be a pretty amazing comeback, but we've seen crazier things happen in the National Football League.
We certainly have.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Here's Cook again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? And he barely got the first down, but he got it.
Cook up the gut. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Palmer going in motion right. Allen. That's taken in by Palmer. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Allen going to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Allen. Completes it to Coleman. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Allen going to get it quickly out to Coleman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Second and a couple. Option play. Here's Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on 3rd downs, and now they face a 3rd and inches.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Dalton Kincaid.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Bills are able to add on to that lead. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Now a 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw. Man open left side is Brown.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
54 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
From the gun, it's Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Here's Hurts to throw.
Over the middle, complete. It's Brown.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles 1st down as he's across midfield to the 48.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Throwing is Hurts.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
That's multiple times now he's tagged him with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
Hurts.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Now back to throw.
This pass hauled in by Dotson.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Now after the holding call, here's second and 20. He'll look to throw. And his pass incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
2nd down and 8.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Again, it's Cook. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Make that now 3 straight 2-yard gains. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.